Dallas Mavericks aren't supposed to be good yet. They're a brand new team with a brand new arena smell and a roster that still looks like it's waiting for the rest of the roster. This is only the franchise's first season. And tonight, they get a real NBA opponent, the Houston Rockets. The Mavericks do something dangerous for a young team. They lead after 3 quarters. Leading after 3 is when the NBA reaches across the table and says, "Here, have a little hope." Hope is a wonderful emotion. It's also how you end up watching a 4th quarter like it's a hostage video. This game goes to overtime and Houston wins it. So no, this is not the triumphant first chapter. This is the first chapter where Dallas learns. Close is not a finish line. Close is just close. If you're thinking, okay, when do the Mavericks actually win one of these? Next episode. That's a real win in 1981 with receipts. But first, we have to earn it. Jim Spanarkel is from Jersey City, New Jersey. High school, Hudson Catholic. Then he goes to Duke, where basketball is basically a language requirement. Spanarkel at Duke is a rare combo. He's a 2-time All-American and a 2-time academic All-American, which is unfair. It's like being tall and also knowing what to do with your life. He becomes the first player in Duke history to score 2,000 points. He's a team captain. He's a guy who looks like he's already read the exam answers, but politely pretends he hasn't. Then the NBA draft, 1979, 16th overall, Philadelphia 76ers. That is a serious environment. And then comes expansion. Dallas enters the league, and the Mavericks stock a roster through an expansion draft. Spanarkel ends up in Dallas because expansion teams are basically built from unprotected players, loose parts, and one good stapler. And that's why Spanarkel is a perfect episode 1 lens. He's steady, he's a professional, he looks like a real NBA player, even when the franchise is still learning where to put the towels. And in that first Mavericks season, he becomes the team's top scorer overall. So if you want to understand the early Mavericks, you start with the guy who made it look like organized basketball. Let's set the table. This is the 1980-81 NBA season. The league is moving into the Bird and Magic era, and everything is starting to feel bigger, faster, and more televised. Dallas is living a different reality, an expansion reality. Entering the game on January 2nd, the Mavericks are 5-36. That's not a rough patch. That's a birth certificate. Here's the immediate stretch leading up. December 26th, Dallas defeats Denver, 119-111. Then they drop games in Milwaukee, Cleveland, and at New York, including a 198 loss to the Knicks on December 30th. And now the Rockets come in on January 2nd. Attendance is 7,872, which sounds small, but this franchise is brand new. They're still building the relationship between Dallas and NBA, like introducing 2 acquaintances and hoping they hit it off. And Houston? Houston has grown man problems. They have Moses Malone, one of the most punishing rebounders and interior scorers in the league. You don't solve Moses Malone, you survive him. So the Mavericks aren't trying to win a beauty contest here. They're trying to make Houston feel them. Dallas comes out with genuine energy. They win the first quarter, 28-25. That matters, because expansion teams usually spend the first quarter learning which opponent is which. Second quarter was even, 27-27, and at halftime Dallas leads by 3. So at the half, the Mavericks had that feeling like, wait, are we allowed to be up? Do we get in trouble for this? Third quarter is where this becomes real. Dallas scores 32 and Houston scores 28. After 3 scores, Dallas leads by 7, and this is the peak. This is the moment where the franchise gets to imagine itself as a normal NBA team, with normal NBA dreams and normal NBA stress. And Jim Spanarkel is right in the middle of it. He finishes the night with 46 minutes and 6 fouls, which is not just contributing, that's living at work. And it's not only Spanarkel. Dallas's leading scorer in this game is Jeff Houston, with 29 points, and he adds 11 assists. Tom Lagarde leads the team with 9 rebounds. File that away for episode 2, because Lagarde's going to come back into this story fast. So through 3 quarters, Dallas is doing the thing you want a new team to learn early. They share the job, they hang in, and they don't panic. And then the fourth quarter arrives with adult supervision. Houston scores 33, Dallas scores 26, and that's the league separating playing well from closing. Houston's been here, Dallas hasn't. Houston knows what the final 5 minutes feel like. Dallas is learning that the final 5 minutes are not just regular minutes with more feelings. The game ties up, goes to overtime. And overtime is short, cruel, and specific. Houston wins 124-120. And that's your inaugural season heartbreak template. Play well, get close, learn the difference between ahead and safe. So what does this game mean? On paper, it's a loss. It drops Dallas to 5-37. But in year one, meaning isn't always in the standings. Meaning is in the evidence. Dallas led after third quarters against a real opponent. They didn't fluke their way into it. They played a coherent game. Spanarkel gives you the theme of this episode. Professionalism inside chaos. He isn't the loudest player. He isn't a myth. He's just a real NBA adult helping the franchise become a real NBA thing. The Mavericks don't get to sit in this feeling. 2 immediate markers right after this. A loss at Seattle 3 days later, and then a win at Golden State. So the pattern becomes clear. This season isn't a straight line. It's a slow accumulation of, okay, we can do that again. And in the background, Spanarkel becomes one of the first Mavericks who gives the franchise a sense of structure, the kind of player who makes everything look less like expansion and more like basketball. This is Mavericks 100. One player, one game, one line at a time. Episode 1 is Jim Spanarkel. The early face of, we're all gonna act like we belong here, even when the scoreboard says we don't. And next, the first real reward, a win. A real one. And this is important. Proof that the Mavericks could do more than just almost. I'll see you in episode 2.